Hey everybody, Ron from CampFire Grub, and on this week's episode, we're going to go ahead and whip up this pork butt here on the pellet smoker, and also show you the new project semi that we got behind us, and kind of give you a rundown of what our plans are with it and how it's looking so far. For today's seasoning choice, thanks to Brent's Barbecue, we got some of his seasoning mix, so we're going to go ahead and use this all-purpose seasoning mix on the pork before we throw it on the smoker. So our method of repair here is instead of putting a wrench on the back of the bolt, which could create an unsafe situation, we're just tightening the bolts down until the nuts just explode and fly off. So we have the back of the frame now lifted up. Time to ug-a-dug some bolts until they bust. Airbags are pulled off. So basically what the game plan here is, we're going to turn this dual axle tractor into a single axle tractor and then build a flatbed for it. This one right here, right? Yeah. Hey, just let it rotate all the way. So the large ug-a-dug was a failure. It was unsuccessful removing the bolts, so now it's time to whip out the torch, and let's hope for the best here. While the torching of bolts is going on over there, let's swing on over here and check out how the pork butt's coming along. We covered this up in the Brent's Barbecue dry rub seasoning he gave me. It's cooking along quite nicely. We've got it cooking at about 280 or so, and we're getting that nice smoky flavor right on there with the pellet smoker. Over there behind me is the smoker. We got the pork cooking up, and over here now behind me is Travis still cutting off bolts, and this right here is the 1993 Volvo White with the Cummins M14 in it, which is like 350 horsepower. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little walk around of it and show you what it's all about. This truck was picked up at a pretty reasonable price at auction. Here is that Cummins motor right here underneath the hood. No substantial oil leaks. Everything seems pretty good to go on it. Not a bad looking truck, it's pretty clean. The frame's not too bad. The tires are out of date, so we're gonna go ahead and change those out. But overall, not too bad. I mean, the outside is pretty clean. Coming in here on the inside, you just see this beautifully clean truck here. Let's climb on up inside and give it a peep. We're inside. It's got the manual transmission, of course. It's got a cassette deck, which is pretty cool. Gotta love a cassette deck. AC doesn't really work yet. Huge, massive steering wheel. Pretty low mileage. The truck's not running, it just appears that it's running. Sweeping on back over here, we've got the sleeper area back here. Pretty clean truck though. What we've got here is an old seat out of an RV, and it's got its seat belts. It can fold down into a bed or be an extra seat to haul more passengers. So it's not a bad little setup here for a sleeper truck. Coming down, and let's go ahead and check out the back end. It's currently a dual axle setup. We pulled off the fifth wheel plate. Goal is to pull this rear axle, pull the middle axle, move the rear axle up here, convert it into a single axle unit. Gonna throw a flatbed on there and turn it into basically like a trailer puller. Build a custom trailer for it, custom flatbed, and it'll be good to go. We've got Travis here, the safety expert, with a grinder. About ready to grind some stuff. Here you can see in this moment
Travis and I are just sitting here just totally discussing this entire situation. We realize that neither of us actually have a clue of what we're doing, trying to come up with a game plan here. Just kind of going back and forth, just trying to figure our lives out here. And as you can tell, it's not going too great.
So what we're doing here is we're just taking these bolts and putting so much pressure on them we just bust them, because that's a good method. And hopefully you can hear me, and it's a little bit quieter, but the fork here is in its last little stages and it's almost done. Well, we've about removed the axle here, but it's not going too well. Whole mess. Just a little. Hopefully this jack don't fly and hit me in the face.
In this current moment, the only thought going through my mind is, why did we just not leave this? A dual axle tractor. But hey, you know what? That would have been the easy way. Travis likes to do things the fancy way. Plus, we're also going to be able to get an additional 2 miles to the gallon with making it only one axle.
So good news is we got the axle removed, the forklift removed, and so what we done is we took some jack stands, this piece of steel, balanced it all on here, and it seems to work out pretty well. All of the sketchy axle removal process is now completed. So now really all that's left to do is that axle has to come out eventually. To relocate that axle underneath it, and then we just got to slice off the frame, probably about right there, right there, build the flatbed for it, still got to disconnect all of this stuff, build a new drive shaft.
Same drive shaft.
Oh, same drive shaft. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and use the same drive shaft now, and hopefully in the next couple weeks this will be completed. Thank you. Thank you everybody for watching. The pork's all done and cooked, and our projects are completed. And don't forget to subscribe and follow along for more super exciting content.